I'm currently in the Brecon Beacons in Wales, one of the UK's finest nature destinations. But just 15 minutes down the road, there's one of the most deprived towns in the whole of the UK. Let's go and check it out. So today I'm in Merthyr Tydfil, described by some to be one of the worst towns in Wales. We will head into town in a bit and find out if it is as bad as everybody says it is. But first, I want to head up just outside of town to find out why this town was one of the richest towns in the world at one point and the reason for its decline. So I'm just going to walk along the river here, along the Taff Trail. It's actually part of the National Cycle Network and goes for miles and miles. So I can show you this place, which really helps you understand Merthyr Tydfil. Back in the 1800s, Merthyr Tydfil was an absolute powerhouse in the Industrial Revolution. And behind me is the Ironworks where it all started. So for nearly a generation in the early 19th century, these were the largest ironworks anywhere in the world. So there still are some remains here that we can see of the old ironworks, but there's a huge amount of it that simply doesn't exist anymore. The building here is absolutely huge. And as far as I'm aware, what this is the original blast furnaces that they used. So although Merthyr Tydfil has been here since about the 6th or 7th century as a farming town, as far as I'm aware, this is what really put it on the world's map. Unfortunately, we can't get in because there's fencing all the way along here, but you can get a great idea of how big this place was and what a grand feat of engineering it was to build it. So unfortunately for Merthyr Tydfil, the introduction of steel being so widely used and being a lot cheaper and easier to produce really made this place just disappear. It didn't disappear overnight, but it did become less viable to introduce new technologies that would have made it easier to produce. Right, let's head into town and see how it's coping these days. So as with a lot of Welsh towns, there's a lot of indoor markets that you'll find in a lot of the towns. I've come to the one here in Merthyr, but this seems to be closed at the moment. It says it's moved downstairs. Let's go down and have a look and see if we can find it. What this place is and where we are.
Yeah, this is, my name is Nicola. This is the Welsh cake stall in Merthyr Market, and the new indoor market in Merthyr Tydfil. We opened on Tuesday and we've been having a really good week.
Fantastic. Well, it looks excellent. I've just bought some, so I'm going to take them away in a bit and go and eat them. I've come to Merthyr today because I've been told it's got a little bit of a bad reputation. What do you think
always
about
had a bad reputation. Always had a bad reputation. Years ago, there was a lot of hard men and, you know, rough upbringings.
Yeah.
We've got one of the biggest council estates in Europe in Merthyr, and yeah, it gained a bad reputation, but it doesn't deserve it. I was brought up on said council estate, and the people there are amazing. If anybody needs a helping hand. Everybody opens their doors and they'll all come and
It's a
help.
very community-based place.
Massively community based, always has been.
Well, thanks so much for talking to me.
You're very
And I
welcome.
will send you... So it looks like everything's not quite open in here yet. It looks like it's just moved very recently. But it does look good what's in here. So there's a lot of independent local businesses here. So definitely worth coming in here and checking it out. So it's that time in the video when I ask you guys if you could like this video and if you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you want to leave a comment underneath and give me any recommendations of other places that I might want to visit, then please do. So like a lot of towns in the UK, Merthyr is a little bit rough around the edges, but the people here are absolutely wonderful. You can just hear there's a real community spirit as you walk around town and hear people chatting with each other. You don't always get that everywhere you go. So if you're not aware, there is quite a big history of boxing in Merthyr Tydfil. A couple of statues that we're just going to go and take a quick look at. But yeah, it's quite a hard mining town, so you do expect these hard boxers to come out of these areas. In front of me now is the statue of Johnny Owen, the matchstick man. And if you look at his statue, you can see why. And then just round the corner, we have got the Welsh wizard Howard Winston, MBE, world featherweight champion. He also was undefeated. So this town really knows how to produce championship boxers. So I found a nice little bench by the river. Let's check out these Welsh cakes. So if you've not had a Welsh cake before, they're a particularly good Welsh delicacy. They're quite a soft pastry with, this one's got raisins in it, but they do sell them with jam in them, chocolate, all sorts of things, and sometimes even plain. But let's give this one a go. Well, you can tell they're fresh off the bat. They're absolutely stunning. These are probably the best Welsh cakes I've ever had. They're not probably, these are the best Welsh cakes I've ever had. So if you're here in Merthyr Tydfil, go and check them out in the indoor market. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.